Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everyone? I go by RB, and this is Philly Take with RB. Now, whether you are a new viewer to the channel or if you have been subscribed already, I'm going to need you to go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Help your boy out. Spread the content of the channel. And if you are new to the channel, if this is your first time tuning in, well, go ahead and hit that subscribe in order to stay up to date with some great Philadelphia content. Today, what I want to talk to you guys about is the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, for the past couple weeks, obviously, we've had a decent free agency so far. We have a lot of talk coming up about the draft. You know, are we going to go out and get some wide receivers during free agency? So far, we've addressed cornerback, safety, defensive end. We're still looking for some more linebackers. I know we got Jatavis Brown. We picked up some pieces. We acquired an all-pro corner in Darius Slay, a lockdown top 5 corner. I say Howie's doing a decent job so far, picking up pieces that we need, especially filling up some voids on defense that have been there for a while that we've been looking for Howie to go up and patch. And like I said, with the offense, we need a couple receivers. Hopefully, we will address that in the draft. But there is one position that I've only heard maybe a handful of people talk about, and I'm talking about in entirety, in total. One position that I feel has gone so far under the radar, and I feel like I have to talk about it here today. It's not corner, it's not wide receiver, it's not safety. Guess what it is? Backup quarterback. Now, I know what your first reaction to that is, probably, and that is, but RB, didn't we go out and re-sign Nate Sudfeld on the first day of free agency? Come on now. Be realistic. I'm sorry. When we saw Nate Sudfeld a couple years ago in maybe a game or two and in the preseason, he looks like he has some weapons. He looks like he's at least serviceable. But come on, Nate Sudfeld is 26. He's never held really a starting job. To me, he's looking for his way around the league, maybe to try to get a chance somewhere. But I'm sorry, I just cannot believe that Nate Sudfeld is going to end up being quarterback 2 on the Philadelphia Eagles. Me personally, I cannot believe it. With how we've traditionally went about things, we've always tried to get some type of at least solid dude that has experience to come in here and be quarterback 2 by the time the regular season starts. So, as I was saying, I feel like it's gone so far under the radar, and don't get me wrong, I do not want to get this twisted. I am one of the biggest Carson Wentz dudes. I love Carson Wentz. The contract that we paid Carson Wentz, 4 years, $128 million, I believe, to the exact dollar. Unbelievable job by Howie. Unbelievable. Hit the market at the right time and got it done before dudes that have been signed after him, like Jared Goff, right? Jimmy Garoppolo. Dak Prescott is waiting to get paid here. He still hasn't got paid. He wants $45 million a year. Unbelievable job by Howie Roseman saving money on the cap. I thought that was a great deal. I'm a huge Wentz guy. He should have been an MVP a couple years back when we won the Super Bowl. I still think he should have won the MVP that year. That's just my opinion. And I think he gets a lot of hate, a lot of distrust, a lot of disservice from some Eagles fans. But let me tell you, Wentz is 26 years old. He has a bright future, okay? Now, however you want to put this, even though I am a huge Wentz supporter and I will always have his back, when you talk about things like this, when you bring up different topics and different subjects on your team, you have to speak from an objective point of view. I'm sorry. You just have to, okay? You can like him as much as you want, but you can't be blind to the fact that he continues to get injured. He has been hurt the last 5 seasons. In North Dakota State, he got hurt. He ended up playing in the championship, helped win it for them, all that, blah, blah, blah. Fine. Go to his rookie year when he got named starter, a week or 2 before the season? People don't remember he had a hairline rib fracture in that offseason. He didn't really play at all until the regular season. Okay, fine. Go to his second year. That's when he had the MVP caliber season. He was kind of breaking out, and then he tore his ACL, went down. We know the rest of the story. Nick Foles takes us to the promised land. The next year, Nick Foles almost does it again, and he's maybe an Alshon Jeffrey drop away from taking us back to the NFC Championship. But Carson Wentz did get hurt again, that time a back injury. The first one from college was a wrist. So we got a wrist, a rib, an ACL, a back, and then in this last season, it was so unfortunate and so just heartbreaking and depressing knowing what Carson Wentz did, bringing these troops together and leading us to the playoffs, to get hurt with a concussion in the playoff game, went out, and he was nowhere to be seen again. Once again, everyone, I am a Wentz supporter. I love Carson Wentz. I think he brings so much to the table. I think he's going to still have a bright future. But we have to look at this. We had Nick Foles for 2 seasons, and look what he did. Look what happened when Carson went down. Foles took us on a run. Look at this past season. We had Josh McCown. It was hard saying goodbye to Foles, but we couldn't pay a backup $10, $20 million to sit behind Carson Wentz. And even though Wentz's injury, you could put any quarterback in there and they probably get injured in that same circumstance. It was a dirty hit. But the fact of the matter is that he got injured. So it's good to have a dude like Josh McCown. And Josh McCown, what a presence he was, not only on the field, but off the field and in the locker room and in the film room, everything. I feel like he really helped Carson Wentz's development, having all that experience from different teams and different cities. I thought he brought a lot to the table. He was always there. He was the first one getting hype. Helped with the playbook, all of that put together. I mean, we even talked about him for coming back as an offensive coordinator this season. That's how much of an impact Josh McCown had. And we know he's old. We know he's not really serviceable anymore. But let's be honest. In 2017, right, when Carson Wentz went down and Nick Foles, we didn't really know what was going to happen. But when we saw what happened that year, we realized the importance of having a quality backup. In 2018, same thing. Foles takes us on almost another miraculous run. This past season, Carson Wentz goes down in the worst moment. We never thought it would happen again, but it did. And Josh McCown stepped in. Obviously, he's over 40 years old, okay? He was at the end of the road. But Josh McCown, the way he played in that playoff game for not really having played in 10 to 12 weeks, and he comes in and almost has a chance to put the Eagles into the next round. He almost took down Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. I know we lost the game, okay? But Josh McCown was playing with basically half a hamstring, half a leg. In the second half of that game, if you watched closely, Josh McCown really just couldn't do anything. He couldn't really move. I remember he tried to go for that last 4th down play, and he even said himself he just couldn't even move. The Eagles need to go out and find themselves a security blanket like a Nick Foles, like a Josh McCown, to come in here and be ready for the moment. Because it is I'm not going to say highly likely, actually. I'm going to say it is at least likely that we might have to face a similar situation. We are talking about maybe going into an NFL season without any off-season workouts. Who knows what these guys are doing to prepare, to get ready? We've had full off seasons to work out, and Carson Wentz has continually gotten injured. And this isn't a knock against Wentz. I'm just saying we need a guy who's going to be in here and ready to go, because the expectations I have for the Eagles, we will be in position to make the playoffs and go on a run. And God forbid, if something happens again with Carson Wentz, we need a dude to step in. So who do we look at? Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, Mike Glennon. I believe that Cam Newton will end up fighting for a job somewhere, but he might end up being a backup quarterback. I even saw a report earlier today that should the Eagles possibly be interested in Cam Newton as a backup quarterback. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. Cam's 31, but I just feel like Cam's not ready to give up that starting, potential yet. I feel like he still has one more run in him, and he's going to try to go compete somewhere. So I don't think Cam is ready to take backup money and to be a backup yet. Jameis Winston, 26 years old, coming off. We know what happened in Tampa. Tom Brady's there now. Jameis Winston threw a lot of interceptions, and that kind of has painted a bad image of him. But I still think Winston has at least another chance to prove himself. And I know some team is going to go out and take a bid on Jameis Winston. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it will happen. 26 years old. I mean, could you imagine this guy going to like the Patriots or something? Trust me, Jameis Winston will have a chance to start somewhere going into 2020. So I don't see him as a serviceable option. But maybe a guy like, I don't know, Trevor Siemian. Guy I just said, Mike Glennon. Joe Webb. Who knows? Like, is Joe Flacco even in the league anymore? Would one of these guys interest you? If it was up to me, I would look for a guy maybe like a Drew Stanton, a guy who is up there in age. I think Drew's like 37, 38. He has a lot of experience. He's been around a lot of locker rooms. Another dude that could help Carson Wentz progress and also be ready to step in the moment. Now, I know Drew Stanton is not a Josh McCown or a Nick Foles, but quite frankly, there's not a lot of options out there on the market. Trevor Siemian, I believe he's 28 years old. I think he would be a good option maybe as a backup. Mike Glennon, do I want parts of Mike Glennon? I think he could be a backup quarterback, but trust me, we're not going to pay him anywhere near what the Bears paid him, obviously. I still can't believe Mike Glennon got that kind of money from the Chicago Bears. I wish Josh McCown could actually come back and be a backup quarterback, but I just think, he's rehabbing that injury with the stage he's at in his career. We saw him crying after that game and the post-game press conference. He's done. His career's done, okay? I would look at Josh McCown maybe as a staff guy, actually. That's a different topic for a different day. All I'm saying is that with Carson Wentz and his history, no matter how much we trust him, no matter how big of fans we are, we have to be realistic and look at the possibilities. I don't think Nate Sudfeld will end up being quarterback 2. I think there's at least some decent options out there, but the Eagles have to go strike. This has not really been talked about much at all. The Eagles need a backup who will not only, aid the development of Carson Wentz, help with the offensive philosophy, whatever. Whether he's in the film room, helping break down film. I know that's what Nick Foles and Josh McCown try to do. And they were just, not only were they players, but they were also mentors for guys like Wentz. If we are smart enough, if Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie have seen the past 5 years, which they have, and seeing what we did in 2017, it is essential to go out and pick up a solid backup quarterback. This must be at near the top of the priority list. You might not think so, but I'm telling you, it is key. Let me know your thoughts down below on this whole Eagles backup quarterback situation. Who do you think should step in and be the backup guy for the Eagles in 2020? Let me know all your thoughts down below. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect.